Hi everyone, it is Friday and it is a week post-operation, literally to the minute. It's about 8:35 and this time last week was the last time I saw the clock before I was put to sleep to take out my gallbladder. I'm doing extremely well. I also, today, being 1 week post-operation, got to take off the sterilized tape that they put on the incisions, and I actually healed up surprisingly a lot better than I thought. I am amazed at how well they actually closed the incisions and how small they actually were. So what had happened was I had fallen ill the weekend before, so this would be 2 weekends ago. This would be the 10th, because it was the Saturday after my brother's birthday, that night, that I had the issues. I vomited twice within 45 minutes and knew something was up. Because normally when I throw up, vomit, I do it once and then I'm okay. But not this time. It was about 8:45 and then about 9:15. Actually, even within half an hour now that I think of it. Wow, that's insane. Like I said, normally if I throw up once I'm fine, but I knew something was wrong. So about 9:30 I finally got home and tried to sleep. Every hour on the hour. So it was 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, and 2:30. By 2:30, I had had enough. Dad, I'm going to want you to take me to the emergency room. By 3, I was there in the emergency room by the time Dad had kind of collected himself. And then 3, I was at the emergency room, waited till 5, got a blood test taken at 5. They told me to go back out to the waiting room, threw up again. This time I threw up what they call bile, which is literally the last thing you throw up before everything starts getting really bad. I was then rushed, well, not rushed per se, but I was immediately asked to go back where I had come from as I was waiting for the blood test. The blood test came back at about 6 o'clock in the morning, and they had diagnosed me with pancreatitis, which is an inflammation of the pancreas. Then, because I had thrown up about an hour previous, they had thought that something else might have been wrong and that I was jaundiced. I was starting to get elevated levels of yellowing in my skin. So they knew something was wrong. Being that your pancreas, like I mentioned in a previous video, is where your insulin's made and it helps your body a lot, they knew that it was pretty serious. Then they told me at about 7:45, 8 o'clock the next morning, so that would have been Sunday the 12th, I think. 10, 11, yes, the 12th. That I needed an IV, so I put on a hospital gown, put on the IV. And then about 7:30 is shift change at the hospital, and then about 8:45, I walked from the non-acute to the acute. So you know something's up when you get to go from non-acute to acute. There I laid from 8:45 on till about 6:30 that night. In pain. Extreme pain. For me, I have a high tolerance of pain, and I was almost in the middle of the scale from, 0 to 10. I was a 4 pretty much the entire time, for especially Sunday and Monday, and then Tuesday it started to even out, but it was still painful. by the time Tuesday came, they kind of got everything under control, and I had had my IV since about 7:45 Sunday morning, and I was scared. I really was. I knew exactly what not to do, thanks to my grandfather, and that Tuesday at 4:15, like I also mentioned in a previous video, the doctor comes. Hey, have you gotten up yet? I'm like, no, I've just been here to the bathroom, which was on the other side of the room, and that was it. He says, you get up. I felt human again. I felt like $1 million compared to what I was. And like I also mentioned, I actually dislodged a gallstone, from my pancreas. Because it literally was like a knot, and then the knot was doing that. I was very lucky that I am as active as I am and wanting to get out of bed. Because really, from also hearing things afterwards, if I wasn't in such bad pain, I could be possibly waiting to get my gallstones removed. I heard a rumor that some person that is known to us took them a year on the waiting list before they got really bad. So obviously within Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 6 days. Just over 6 days. So that's 6 days. They did surgery on me. You know, I must have been really bad. I remember when the doctor walked in just before surgery. He had gone to get suited up and washed. And I remember the anesthesiologist. He's one of the more funny ones, but a good type of funny to ease your mind. The last question he asked me was, how tall are you? And because I was already really pretty much ready to fall asleep even before they started, I was like 5'9", I guess. And the last thing I heard him say was, you guess? And I was out for the entire time. It took about an hour and a half, so that would have been about 10-ish. And then by, I think it was 11:15, 11:20, I was awake again. And then when I got back to my room, I looked at the clock again up in the wall in front of me, and it was like 11:30. All I remember from the ride up was, once I got to the floor where I was on the 5600 floor. And all I remember was I was like this, opening my eyes just a little and going to my mom, get my iPad. Because I wanted to contact my brother. My brother, I don't know how it happened, but I can understand that he doesn't like hospitals, and I'm totally okay with that. But he didn't want to come and see me, and I knew he wasn't going to. But we commentated. We kept sending comments and feedback and chat and stuff through Facebook. So that was the first person I wanted to get hold of, was my brother. Even though I guess Mom and Dad phoned them and eased his mind. Just over the past 2.5 weeks, from being perfectly fine to being sick in the hospital, like I said to someone, I don't know what it's supposed to teach me, but I think it's taught me patience, and that truly I can get through anything. And excuse the expression, and I quote, I could get through anything with a little help from my friends. You guys are amazing. I just don't know any other words to say. Good night, everyone.